It sounds like you've succeeded in reaching your goals so far. They're probably just jealous." She laughed and shook her head, making her curls bob. "I think it's more about not understanding. Many people can't fathom why someone would do something that they themselves would never want to do." "That's an excellent way to look at it," I said with a wink, enjoying the blush that dusted over her cheeks again. After draining her glass, she asked about my military service, but I didn't go into any detail. I wasn't hiding anything, it was just that neither of us were really interested in talking. "Living dangerously worked for me last time, so I'm going to try it again," I told her in a low voice, forcing her to bring her head close to mine so she could hear me. "I like a man who lives on the edge." Her tone was teasing, but it didn't disguise how breathless she was. "I have a hotel room across the street." She sucked in a breath and licked her lips as she sat up. I waited more nervous than I'd ever been, including during my most harrowing missions. "My friends and I are staying there too," she informed me. "Tell me your room number, and I'll let them know I'm leaving and where I'll be." Hallelujah. I gave her the number, then left a tip on the bar while she went to say goodbye to her friends. We met at the door, and I placed my hand at the small of her back when I opened it, guiding her outside. "Watch your step, baby," I murmured when I realized how rocky the parking lot was. We crossed the street to the hotel, which faced the street to our left, so we entered through a side door. Once we were inside the lift, I pushed the number for the 3rd floor, then moved to stand behind her, wrapping my arms around her waist. It was the only way to keep myself from kissing her, and I knew that once I started there would be no stopping. However, I allowed myself the luxury of sweeping her hair to one side and rubbing my lips on her soft skin. She inhaled swiftly and squirmed, causing friction between her ass and the large bulge pressed against it. The ding of the elevator was like the shotgun at the beginning of a race, a sound that meant I didn't have to hold back any longer. My room was only one door to the right, so I walked us over, still glued to her, and hurried to swipe my card and unlock it. The door was still swinging shut when I pressed her against the nearest wall and crushed my mouth down onto hers. I groaned at the taste of rum and cinnamon mint she'd eaten when her drink was gone. My hands were on her shoulders, but they glided down over her generous breasts to her waist and around to cover her butt. Holding her firmly, I lifted her up until our centers were aligned and her legs wrapped around my hips. "Fuck," I grunted when I finally came up for air. "I don't know what it is about you, baby, but I've never been this close to losing control." "So lose it," she panted, tightening her legs and grinding her hot pussy on my solid shaft. "I'm not breakable." I didn't have to be told twice. Holding her to me, I practically jogged to the bed, then dropped her on the mattress, causing her to laugh when she bounced. She was wearing a button-down blouse, and I ran the tip of my index finger from her collarbone down through her cleavage to the first clasp. "You have the sexiest freckles. I'm dying to see all of them." Spreading her arms out to the side, she winked at me and whispered, "Feel free to explore every inch of my body." "Be careful what you wish for, baby." There was no doubt in my mind that learning her every curve would take all night. I unbuttoned her shirt and she arched her back to help me take it off. Then unhook her bra before she relaxed back onto the bed. My mouth literally watered when I uncovered her big tits, sprinkled with freckles and tipped with candy pink nipples. "Fucking gorgeous," I rasped. "My turn," she insisted as she sat up. My shirt was gone in the blink of an eye, and she went to work on my belt buckle. I let her get it undone, and my pants unzipped before I grabbed her wrists and guided her into her spread-out position. "If you put your hands on me right now, it'll be over before it starts." Before she could form a response, I dipped low and sucked one of her stiff peaks into my mouth.